All right, grasshoppers, you are stuck with just me again today. It's Thursday, 2 o'clock. We're in the boardroom. I'm not sure. Mel contacted me a couple days ago, saying he's coming on the show. Then his plan has changed. He's a busy man, so he'll buy some skinny jeans. A couple of things to talk about while we get some more people on here asking questions, and we'll answer those questions. Had a fantastic Zoom call yesterday with two fantastic people, Ryan Phillips and CeeLo English. CeeLo is does yoga, mind stuff and everything. Really intelligent, very positive people. Ryan's an interesting guy. He had played hockey many years ago, friends with Barry Beck. I guess I met him a long time ago. And he rode a bike across Canada to raise money for mental health issues. So they're coming into town. They're doing a thing called True Redemption, where they're going around interviewing a bunch of people. Hello, Mimsy, Jessica, how are you doing? They're interviewing a bunch of people. So they want to, they're gonna come over and get up with me at 3:30 in the morning, do the 3:53 march, go to the gym, the whole morning routine and everything. So we'll have some fun. So I've been sending them the videos of the sunrises. Hi, Kathy. Oh, you're so funny. Hi, Tom and everyone. Or maybe you're talking to everybody else watching, but everyone, yeah, just me, all by myself in the boardroom, all by myself on the screen. So again, that's True Redemption. So Ryan Phillips and CeeLo English, two fantastic people, very positive, all mental health stuff. They will have that. Actually, you can find CeeLo on Instagram too at Live Well Yoga, or you put her name, CIELO English. So they're coming in to do this video. It will air on Amazon Prime, I don't know, probably 3 months or something by the time you get it all done. So, what else we got going on? We've got I posted about this. I'm putting on a presentation at the Greenwich Library here in Greenwich, Connecticut, to discuss how I use technology in my life with all the fitness and diet and everything. I'm gonna, Susan asks, "Am I really in a boardroom, or is that background superimposed?" It is. I've got a green screen. So I'll tell you the stuff we got going. So we got the library, and again, that's sometime in November. Then my old college, Northern Michigan University, is going to fly me up there in November as well. Put on some presentations up there. One at the high school, one at the college, and one at some other private school there. So that'll be fun. I've been up there in a long time. So we got that going on. So again, I'll post about the library thing. People can sign up for it. It's in person at the Greenwich Library. So I'll post that when that date is and everything, how to sign up. Keyboard screwing up. Afternoon, Tom, Larry, keyboard. Ron Jameson, your keyboard's screwing up there. Put you up there. I'm gonna make fun of you. I have to make fun of you. Afternoon, Tom, Larry, keyboard. That's what I'll call Larry from now on. Larry, keyboard. Okay. So let me see what Ira has to say here. If Ira throws pepper down, I hope pepper weighs 10 pounds, and Tom throws a lot down there. Oh God! So we were discussing today in the Thursday morning show that I do with Rich Gabberty. I had a little incident the other day. I don't know if I'm losing my temper or my mind, or it's just people are being rude or whatever it is. But so these workers around here have been installing rain gutters, replacing the old rain gutters and putting new ones up. And there's an ordinance. Miners Tiger Murder. So I think it was Monday night. There's an ordinance in the town of Greenwich that any construction noise has to stop at 6 o'clock. So I'll get back to that story when I answer questions here. What's Dave Maloney up to these days? You know what? I haven't seen Dave in a while. He's still working with the MSG, obviously. What was this? Tom Boy. Mark had a very telling comment with guys still cheating the other day. Cheating as it steroids. That was, I can't remember that comment. Yes, Lorraine, I try to stay busy, stay out of trouble. I just find I got a big mouth. I have to do a lot of talking. So anyways, yeah, so I don't get in trouble outside when I'm inside doing podcasts. So these guys were, it got to be about 5:50 and they've been going late. Okay, Jack, I'll get back to that at HGH. I remember that comment. Yes. It was getting close to 6 o'clock. So I informed them very nicely at first that they had about 10 more minutes, and they kept on going. So at 6 o'clock, they were still going. So I went outside and I tried to be calm at first, and they started talking back, and I was saying, "Look, listen, it's part of the I can't get it on the show. So one thing led to another. They weren't quitting. And I told them, I said, listen, it's an ordinance in the town. You're not supposed to be working. So there's a ladder leaning against the wall, against the fence. And I took it, threw it down the hill. So they left. So I guess it wasn't the right thing to do, but it worked out to get the right result. So looks like you got some sun. You know what? It's these lights. It's, people mentioned that before about me getting the sun, but it's these lights. Maybe I'm tilted the wrong way. I've got those lights, for on camera stuff. So I have got some sun, but I don't think I'm as red as it sometimes looks. Oh, yes. So going back to the comment about Mark Putnam was on the other day, we were talking about performance-enhancing drugs, steroids, and testosterone, HGH. I would assume, listen, I don't know the details, but I assume like they found ways now to hide. Apparently, you take other drugs to hide the drugs. So the comment was the guy's cheating using HGH. Yeah, I mean, I think it's always going to be pro sports, especially. There's always going to be steroids in there. They find a way to beat it. And again, to me, I'll be honest with you, I don't like the message it sends to young kids. So that would be the concern I have. But if a pro athlete wants to take drugs, to me, go ahead and do it. I don't. It is cheating based on the rules right now. But if they change the rules and allowed it to happen, I don't know. I just. Yes, Barry. I need to fill up those chairs behind me. Yeah, in the boardroom. So it is a green screen. I'll change it up every once in a while. I did some great pictures that they have. I use this technology called StreamYard to do these shows, and they have some downloaded pictures already. You can get your own pictures up there. But there's one on the beach. I may get one on the beach, sitting on the beach doing the show too. But all right, what we got going on here? All right, so I told you about the things we've got going on. Again, Ryan Phillips and CeeLo English are doing a thing called True Redemption. They're coming in from Vancouver. I'm going to try to get them on my show too. Fantastic people, really positive. She's really intelligent. She actually does hypnosis as well. So I guess I'm going to get hypnotized someday. Should we do it on TV or not? Because I start saying stuff I shouldn't be saying. Let me see here. Ira. Let me see here. What have you got to say here, you big fella? I need to go to the general neutral room and pee. Can we pause the show? I didn't know you said that. Sure. Anything for you, Ira. What do you want? I won't talk anymore. I'll wait till you get back. Yeah, I don't. The Yankees. Let me see here. The Yankees boys are gunning for them. They want first place in the division. Well, the Yankees kind of stumbled there a little bit for a while. They're playing better now. Aaron Judge is unbelievable, right? That's going to be interesting to see. So they tried to get him signed to a contract before the season started. He said he wasn't going to talk about negotiations during the season. And now he's probably going to be, right now, I guess a lot of people would vote him as MVP of the league, but that'd be a good one. Yeah, MSG, get MSG in the background. I can do that. Yeah. Let me see here. I'm 60 now. Mark at 66. And you see, yeah. You know what? I get that at times. I've learned so much more, from people like Mark, from Rich Gabberty that I have on, and even the mental stuff like with Jackie Long. Jackie will be back on again. She's hasn't been feeling well the last couple of weeks, so it should be back on next Tuesday. And I learned a lot from people like that. Kathleen was on before, Kathleen McIntosh. So again, even going way back to when we had, it's terrible. The woman, she was the epidemiologist. Just a ton of stuff about how to train yourself, to train your mind. I know probably Ira used this last, but the average is, they say that people use like 4 to 10% of their brain, the average person. And with Ira, it's probably 2, but that's why I realized we just train ourselves much more. So it'll be interesting to see on next week when they come in to film that thing. They want to get up, but they're at Vancouver time too, so they'll be flying in. So I guess maybe they just won't go to bed. Oh God, can you have for people that haven't met Kotze, he's Kotze and I were roommates my first year in the National Hockey League. His first year in the National Hockey League, we actually rented Dave Maloney's apartment in Hartsdale, I believe it was. His poor wife came over to check on the place, and my room was not exactly too tidy. Oh, goodness. Jerry Gillis. Jerry Gillis. Is that the correct spelling? Jerry Gillis would be a great guest. Is it former player, Jerry Gillis? Let me see here. Serious question. There's a serious question there. Serious question. Now that I'm done with cancer treatments, I'm developing. I've got quick tips for getting rid of it. Well, first of all, I'm glad you're done, Tim. I forgot that you were on. Yeah, you told us that before. Hope you're feeling better. Feeling well. Well, I don't think there's a quick tip for getting rid of belly fat. Fasting is big for me. Again, you can really control your calorie intake. So the theory of I do a 16-hour fast. So I stop eating at 8 o'clock at night and I don't eat again until noon the next day. And the theory is, and there's some people think differently as far as the timing of all this, but rough numbers are that after 12 hours, your body has burned up all the carbs and fats and everything inside. And now it starts to go into a state of autophagy, which is technically it's if you translate it, it's self-eating. It's like you're eating yourself, like the body's eating itself, which isn't really what's happening, but it regenerates the cells in your body and it starts now burning fat in your body. So that would help with the gut. And again, I don't know what your diet is, but again, if I use an app called MyFitPal, it's by Under Armour, and you put in all your foods, tell them what your goal is at the start. It's a little bit cumbersome at the start to get going, but once you get going on it, and it really gives you a visual of what you put in your body every day. The macros are important, so how much fat, protein, and carbs you put in. It'll give you a guide of how much you should have. And then it gives you a little pie chart to show you how much you put in. And then it's got nutrients in it as well. So it shows you if you have too much salt, sugar, all those things. So again, without looking at your diet, I'd be able to tell you what, but again, and the book is closing in and getting done, and we've decided to put a section in there about my diet and why I eat what I eat. So, Susan, can I have water? Yes. Can you have water during the fast? Yes, you can. You have a cup of coffee during the fast if you want. I actually have my amino energy drink, which is about 50 calories, I think, and I think you're still all right with that. There's Deb. So there's Deb uses the same apps, lost 40 pounds. Good job. I didn't know you lost 40 pounds. Good job, Deb. Wow. Let me see here. I eat M&Ms quickly. That is sure are. Yeah. For you it is. Yeah. Would you say the Mika trade for Broussard is one of the best ever? Yeah. Mika's and in all fairness to Ottawa, I didn't think Mika was that good to start with. He has blossomed here, like really gotten better. So yeah, but looking at it, Broussard, was a good player. He was one of those guys too, who's a good player, but then moved all over the place. You kind of wonder, like, was he really that good? Or again, I thought he was a good player. But you're welcome, Tim. Again, if you want, you can direct message me, send me your diet, what you're eating, and you take a look at it and see what to take out of it and everything. So, what is there anybody out there that's a real expert on YouTube? If there is, let me know. I need some help setting that up. I was on a roll here today. He's butter. I dropped 20 pounds. My belly. That's actually pretty good. I do give you credit. Yeah, I do give you credit. Yes, Jack Smith, Jeff Gordon, love dealing for other teams' first round picks. Yeah. Listen, Jeff Gordon got to know each other. I coached his son with John Tonelli 1 year, so we got to know each other. And obviously I knew him from the Rangers and everything too. But he was, I thought he was good. He had a lot of the good things. Yes. Okay. Talking diets. I think creating the diet, sticking to is hardest part. So I tell you, one of the things I've learned with the diet is it's about the discipline, right? To understand, again, with an app like MyFitPal, there's a lot of different apps. That's the one I use. So now you're putting in all your foods. And if you do it diligently and you see what you put in, even if you know that you've eaten the wrong foods, put it in so you can see it in front of you. But it's about discipline. That's why I'm such a believer in, having discipline in your life just in general to get that more discipline. And it doesn't have to be my discipline. Like I'm very rigid. It's up at 3:30. That video gets me at 3:53. The next one's at 3:54 on Facebook. I get off at 4:10 to get put my shoes on to get to the gym. Leave the gym at a certain time. So, but what it does though, I think it builds up your overall discipline, and that will include your diet. I know it seems like getting up in the morning. What's that got to do with your diet? But if by building the discipline throughout your life, and if people laugh about the whole air conditioning thing and not use it, But the idea with that kind of exercise is that now you've taken yourself out of your comfort zone and you're doing something that you don't have to do. It's like making my bed. I don't have to make my bed perfect every day because nobody's coming around with the no air anyways. But I just believe that you can't, I don't think you can still do it, but I think it's more effective to try to diet once you really straighten up your whole life, about more discipline your whole life. And again, it doesn't have to be my discipline life, just your own life, like getting up at a certain time every day, exercising at a certain time every day, not getting into habits. Like I sometimes get a little lazy because I go to the gym by myself there. Like I wear like a regular black t-shirt instead of one shirts that are for working out, like an Under Armour shirt. And if I get into that mode, it's like I'm taking a shortcut. And I'm much better when I stay rigid and everything. So, trying to lose. Let's see here. It's amazing you go crazy trying to lose weight and one illness knocks. Yeah. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's a hard way to lose weight if you get sick. Yeah. Let me see here. What we got? Tom, could you quantify your playing career if you were as disciplined as now? Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, I was asked before, do I have any regrets? And I don't, because I love who I am now. I love my life now, and everything that's happened to me in the past has created who I am now, my life now. So there's no regrets. But if I knew the things, it's that old saying, right? If I knew the things now that I know now, I mean, I wouldn't. I had to retire more because of my back. Maybe it's time for me to retire anyways. But now my back is. But 35 years later, my back is fantastic. I can do stuff. I've learned to train better, core training, stretching, better diet, even mentally too, handling stress, training for going on Survivor stuff, all those things I learned. And the stuff I'm learning now from people we have on these shows, I hope you guys are learning stuff too. It's just been, and I just, didn't realize about the effect on kids when you're coaching them or teaching them or being parents, kids from 0 to 7 years old, how things are formed in their mind, their subconscious and everything. So, yeah. Let me see here. My wife, instead of the show, I used to be fat. Wife, instead of the show, they said they should have a show called I Used to Be Skinny. Oh, I see. I used to be skinny. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, but it is interesting, Jack Smith, for that question. It's because I don't really regret it at all that I know the things now, and I wish I knew. Because the whole culture was different back then. I've talked many times that like one of the reasons I was one of the player I was that even the off there stuff. I mean, I was that team guy. I had to be. I realized I wasn't that talented, and I had to be a team guy. And that part of that was, going out with the boys drinking beers. And I've told you too about like how in LA with Bruce McDonald on the team after the game, he'd hand me like $2,000, $1,500 to say, yeah, Tommy, take all the boys out for beers. So that really kind of was who I had, was. And we were all, that's kind of where it was back then. So, let me see here. What was your aha moment that led you to create True Grit Life? Great question, Deb. So I had started, I've told this many times, my youngest son, Cody, had pushed me for many years to get into branding myself. I get on Instagram and Facebook. He had really become a fan of hip hop artists and really was a fan of how they promoted themselves and branded themselves. And so he really studied that. And he said, nobody cares about, I was a slug defenseman and nobody cared. But he says, everybody's got their own niche. You'll have people that'll follow you. So I didn't have a plan on having True Grit Life. I didn't have a plan on being a motivational speaker, doing a book, going on Survivor, anything. It just kind of evolved into that. I was getting up early every day, posting, and like I said, if you go look at my Instagram and Facebook, like early months, it was every day was the same thing. So that's who I've become. And then I started to realize, well, people would tell me you could be more creative and do different things. And then I started getting people who contacted me saying that what I was doing was helping them. Then I realized, geez, man, I guess I'm making a difference in people's lives. And then we started doing the book, and the writer, to his credit, I was a big John Wayne fan. And there's that movie True Grit. And a lot of the things that I was preaching was like that gritty kind of life. And he says, what do you think of the title True Grit Life? So he really started it. And then it just kind of took off from there. So still single. I can't. I wants to know why he's still so single. Well, we will come back to that one. Here's Kathy. What year were you on Survivor? So I'm 64 now. I turned 61 out on the show, right? So it was season 39. So it was, I guess, like the year before COVID hit. Yeah, I think the show ran in September, and I think COVID then, I think then it was in, started in March or whatever it was. So, um, great question to ask another single guy. Very. Yes, responding to Iris. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to give you advice on why you're single. Yeah, I'm twice divorced. Good luck with that. Okay. Would you have done what Judge did, bet on yourself on your contract year and turn down a Sizemore? Wow, that's you got to give him credit. So Aaron Judge, Susan's a big Yankee fan as well. So Aaron Judge, people don't know, plays for the Yankees. He's closing in on 60 home runs right now. Probably will be at least running for MVP if doesn't win it. And they were offering a contract before the season, a pretty sizable contract too. Wasn't it like 30 million a year or something? And he wanted more and said he wasn't going to negotiate during the season. To our information, with our information, he has not negotiated during the season. But he's, now he, like as Susan said, he bet on himself, and he's the knock on him before. I think if there was a knock, was that he got hurt. Not a lot, but he got hurt, missed time, and he's an older player, right? Because I think he played in college, stayed in for 3 or 4 years, so he's older than some of the other players. So that he wants a longer term deal. I think the Yankees' concern is that I think the deal he wants is going to take him like to 40 years old, but they can't afford to lose him. I mean, they just can't. I think he's going to get what he wants to get. If he doesn't get it from the Yankees, he'll get it someplace else. So, all right. So we're going to talk Survivor today. I like talking Survivor. What did you do for hygiene? Like bathing and brushing teeth when you was Survivor? That's a great question. Nothing. There's nothing you do. You're filthy. You're the dirt on your fingernails and everything. You see a lot of players that get a piece of bamboo, and because your teeth just get gunk all over, and you just get a piece of bamboo and try to scrape them off. There's no brush. It's the real deal. People have asked, is the show for real? And it is. So yeah, when you get done, it's not just taking one shower and being clean. You have to take a series of showers. Like again, you get the dirt out of your hands are filthy. I was, I was dating a girl at the time, and she was kind of worried that got people hooking up on the show. Nobody want to go near each other in there. It's like, oh God, stink too. You're putting on sunscreen, and again, there's no soap or showers. You can go out in the ocean and scrape yourself down with sand and that, but yeah. It was fun. Let me see here. Would you do naked afraid? Well, it's not about the naked part. As you know, I don't have a problem taking my shirt off. Larry Melnick likes that. It's more like that show. I haven't seen it, but it isn't the show that you're playing against other people. Who's going to stay out there the longest? But you don't know when anybody else has quit. So you may stay out there for a month. Everybody else has quit after 7 days. So that's the part. It's just that I tell you though, being out in Survivor is much. It is interesting how. So we were sleeping in the dirt. We didn't realize we made these bamboo beds. We didn't realize you had to flatten down the bamboo. We were just sleeping on, like we would split it in half, but it's still hard as a rock. So it's almost impossible to sleep in the bamboo. So we started sleeping in the dirt. And after a while, like you really look forward to it. It was, it's just what you got used to. So being out there I was out, 15 days, whatever it was, 16 days. And I didn't really feel like, oh, geez, I can't wait for it to be over. I want to win, first of all. But so Brian Jennings asked a question here. You guys had toilet paper? No. So maybe you haven't heard me tell this story, but one of the funny things that a lot of contestants show when they get together, they talk about, even from other shows, is there's no toilet paper, no toilets. The leaves have all bugs and dirt all over them, so you're not using those things. So they teach you to do what they call an aqua bomb. You go out in the ocean and do your business. And it is so funny because you don't think it through, right? You're in the ocean. You do your business and it's floating on the top of the water. It's like now the waves are crashing in. You're trying to get out of the water. It's like your poop is trying to chase you around, trying to get back in. So it was funny. Let me see here. Danny Erickson. So do you think it saddens old-time Yankee fans that Judge will most likely pass Roger Maris? It was 61, yeah. I think I think he's so well liked and respected. Like he's that Derek Jeter kind of guy. I'm sure probably older fans are going to go, they're be sad that it's no longer the record. But, again, I just think he carries himself so well that, Bianca, you don't like that? The visual of that? Oh, yeah, but you're filthy. The funny thing is, after a while, you're so dirty and everything, it really doesn't even bother you. So, here's a good question, Joseph. Who would be a better Survivor contestant? Oh man, God, I'm trying to think. Okay, so Mel. Well, see, Mel would not. I don't think part of the game is like you don't want to stir the pot with you try not to put a target on your back. So especially I'm 6 years old out there with 20-year-old people and everything. People are saying stuff and they're like either they're wrong or you think it can be done a better way. Like we would before the tribal challenges, they would tell you what the challenge is, what you're supposed to do, and then they give you about a minute to discuss it, how your strategy and everything. So before they got there, they're all like, okay, Tom, you're the captain of the team. You're the older guy. We want you to lead this little discussion. Who's going to do what? All these different things. So they'd say, okay, get started. And they'd all start talking. And I wanted to just scream like, shut up. I'm running this thing, but you can't. Because then, everybody's always trying to, include me, was always trying to find a reason to vote somebody else off other than you. To me, that's one of the biggest strategies in the game. So you got to be careful. You can't say too much. So, let me see here. Let me see here. Jack, what do you got? Serious question. Was it hard getting used to female reporters in the locker room? Must be awkward initially. Most guys are pretty respectful. So they just, we wouldn't walk around naked. Obviously you've got to change, but you get a towel right there. So you wrap the towel around and I don't recall it being awkward. No. It was more when I got to LA and when Gretzky got traded there, the locker room was just packed with movie stars and everything, including, female movie stars. I joke around. Goldie Hawn. So Goldie Hawn was in the locker room and, I'm taking all my stuff off. And now I'd like to tell you she was staring at me. She was not. She was just kind of looking around the room. And right when I dropped my everything and I was standing there naked, she turned and looked at me and she looked at me for half a second. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, I hope it's not cold in here. So that was my Goldie Hawn. Let me see here. Okay, let me see. Question by Mimsy. What's happening, Mimsy? Who of your Ranger teammates do you think would do well on Survivor? That's a great one. Wow. I think James Patrick would do pretty well because he can control himself pretty good. Like he's an intelligent guy. Because you got to be thinking and I kind of downplayed the strategy part of it. But James is intelligent. I think he can survive out in the surviving people think the surviving part is in the living, eating rice and all kind of stuff. The hard part, really, it's not really that bad. Like there's a lot of people out there, like Krishna was on our show. She wasn't well conditioned or anything. It does hurt you. Like in her case, she got a target on her back because she was really hurting us, at least with me. She was really hurting us winning challenges, which obviously you lose the challenge, then you have to vote somebody out. But I think there's somebody, now that I think about it too, I think there's some people out there that don't really care about winning challenges. They like the strategy. They want to get people voted out. The risk is though that you can get yourself voted out too. So, Danny. Where is it? Danny's asking where it is. How hard is that with Tom Lane's 0-goal season? It actually got to be funny. I went 120 games without scoring a goal, and that was out in LA, and it got to be kind of a joke, really. Like I would say, I'm not even going to shoot the puck anymore. I know it didn't really hurt too much. It wasn't. I had established myself as a defensive defenseman back then. So they should do a Survivor Hockey Edition. Yeah. Survivor was fun. It was a blast. It really was. It was, it was just one of those things that people say, like, why'd you go on it? It was just, I've learned to just try to do everything possible before you throw me in the burn me or whatever, cremate me. So it was just, I remember they dropped you off on the island in Fiji, and you're like, oh, man, really, you're playing, but they drop you off. And again, in our case, there's no marooning. Like usually they have a marooning. So the concept for the show, if people don't know, is that you're supposedly out on a ship, you're marooned, and now you have to survive with other people, build shelter, get a fire going, get food. But then at the same time, you're also strategizing about how you're going to get other people voted off. So it was a blast. It'd be fun having a hockey edition. Let me see here. how would Mel survive out there? Well, the part that Mel had a hard time with is containing his temper. Says me who threw the ladder down the hill the other day. But because there is sometimes people are intentionally trying to stir the pot. Other times people are just saying crazy things, and Mel would have to bite his tongue and Is it true that did you flush the toilet when you went? I hope you did wash your hands and everything. Is it true that you will be foregoing heat this winter? Well, I don't use a whole lot of heat anyway, so it has to get pretty cold for me to have the heat on. My sons come over with their one's wife and one girlfriend, and they come over with sweaters on. So I do turn the heat on up when they, or sometimes I don't have it on at all, but put Phyllis Mosquito on Survivor. No. That would not go well. She's every other word is the F word, so they have to blank out everything. Mimsy. Would I do Survivor again? Absolutely. Yep. I don't think they'd invite me back. I wasn't enough of an impact player. And again, I told them before the show too. I said, listen, there's a lot of lying and backstabbing and crying and everything. So I told them when I went in for casting, and it was in front of all the CBS people and everything. We had one of our last meetings we had. I said, listen, I won't be doing that. And my True Grit life is my life now, and it's about integrity and doing the right thing and fighting through things. So they said, no, that's fine. We accept that. So you go play the way you want to play. And so I remember he was getting voted off. That was the one, you want to win, but only one person wins the game. So I remember getting voted off thinking, you know what, I did what I wanted to do. And I wasn't happy that I got voted off, but Susan Brooks, how are you? How about Amazing Race? Well, that's how it all started, that the whole concept of going on Survivor. I do Amazing Race. The only problem with Amazing Race, I'm not crazy about heights. And I watched Amazing Race a few times. And they've got some things where they do, they're hanging off balconies up in the air and all that kind of stuff. So they're all protected all the time. But I'm terrible. I'm the guy that was thinking that, the harness or whatever would break and I'd go flying down. So yeah, but I do Amazing Race. During your career, how many times were you asked to do an interview during the intermission, like the stations do, and did they compensate you? You would usually get some small gift or something. I don't even know if they did announce that you were getting a gift, but quite a bit. I got asked quite a bit to do interviews, which was fine. I didn't. There's some guys when the game starts, they're really like John Tonelli. I played with him, like he's totally focused all the time. Like he wouldn't be able to pull himself away from folks. But for me, the kind of player I was, I had to kind of read and relax. I had to be relaxed and have my mind relaxed. So when I got in the locker room, I liked having fun. I mean, when guys were getting ready to play, I couldn't interfere with that. But I was kind of being a smart ass and joking around. I've told a story before about our assistant coach, Jack Burtz, that's what it was. And I put a baby powder in the hairdryer before the game. I usually would do it after the game, and Nikki had taught me this. And Jack Burt's coach had this routine where he would work out, shower, get dressed. We had his whole routine. And then one of the last things he did was dry his hair. And he has contact lenses in the whole bit. There's about 5 hair dryers, and he happened to grab the one hair dryer. I put the baby powder in, and we were actually just standing up to go for the game. We had to warm up already. Guys are getting up, helmets on and everything, and hair dryer goes off, and he's screaming my name, and the guys are dying laughing. And I'd love to take credit and say I did it on purpose, but it was more I was trying to get somebody after the game. But it actually turned out pretty funny. Jack Smith, Bill Chadwick. Shoot the puck, Barry. I've told this story, but I went out for an interview with Bill Chadwick out in Long Island someplace, and he had a radio show out there. And so it was in Islander country, obviously, and it was a live show, I believe. I think that's how it was. And somebody, as a smart aleck joke, called in and said, what's it like to shower with Ron Duguay? I think that's how they phrased it. And he didn't hear the question. He just turns to me and says, well, Tommy, what's it like? So I had to kind of scramble, like, laugh it off. Or I can't remember how I handled it, but it was kind of funny because he didn't hear the question at all. Or maybe he did. I thought he would have. If he heard it, he would have gone on to the next one. Let me see here. Oh, the prank. Yeah. Yes. There's a great video. It's Laidlaw Pranks or something like that. So this, the producer there, don't forget his name. Fantastic guy too. He really liked the stuff I was doing, joke around, my personality and all that. So he wanted to do this video. So it's funny watching the old video because I did a joke where I put the shaving cream on the phone, but obviously there was no cell phones back then. So it's the phone on the wall. And then I put baby powder in the hair, right? Baby, shaving cream in the towels. And then we did there's an old goaltender, Goose, we called him. I can't remember. It's terrible, man. I can't remember his name. He did they obviously knew that I was pranking them, so they were good sports. They went along with it. He did the one with shaving cream on the phone. And actually, Marty McSorley volunteered to do the shaving cream in the towel one. He was pretty good too. He was pretending he didn't know it was there and got it all over him. Then Luc Robitaille, he's a pretty boy of the team. He did the baby powder in the hairdryer. So got pretty good. Actually, Bob Borgen was the guy's name, producer. Great guy, fantastic guy. And he was up for an Emmy for that. It wasn't about my acting or anything like that. It's how he put it together. They had me in a silhouette, like I was a criminal and I was confessing my crimes, kind of thing. And so it was cool. It was fun to do that. Let me see here. Vodka or tequila, you can only pick one. It depends on the day. I like tequila. I make my own fruit juices now too. So I make my own fruit juices, hummus, ketchup. My ketchup's getting better all the time too. Let me see here. Jessica Danahy. Tom said 9 times tequila. That's right, Jack. You tell him. Yeah, you tell him. Oh yeah, that's right too. Katsopoulos. He never got his name right. And he was funny. He was doing the game when we had the big brawl in LA. It went on for, 15, 20 minutes or something. And he said the famous line, "This is going to set the game back 30 years or 20 years." I can't remember what number he said in his accent. And I don't think it set the game back at all. People loved it. That's one when I'm out with events and everything like that. Fans always love talking about that team and about that brawl and everything. Yeah, I don't think I've heard that before about setting the game back. But back in the middle of those days. But the game's changed so much now, and I think you can see that it does attract. They've done such a better job of promoting it. And I think what it is too, like when you're at the game and stuff like that's going on, I think it's more exciting. When you're sitting at home and you're watching a brawl go on forever, I think it gets kind of old after a while. Let me see here. Did you tell Mel about Ballsy? Who's Ballsy? But that brawl was pretty good. There was one scene there where I think it was Don Maloney. Somebody had 2 guys against one, and Don Maloney goes flying through the air, dives on the guy. It was classic. And then the famous, probably the funniest thing, it was Nick Fotiu was not dressed for the game. Mel's ball wash. Oh no, Mel's ball wash. Mel's a funny dude. But Nicky's not dressed for the game, and one of their players who wasn't dressed reached over the boards and grabbed Eddie Hospodar. Nick came flying down too, just ragdolling the guy, throwing him around. It's hilarious. Oh, let me see here. What do we got? One time during Rangers on the ball, Phil says Bob Knifer isn't going to lose many fights. Jim Gordon said he's not a bad tennis player. Oh yeah. Bubba with that left hand, he hit Rick Sharp. Shot came to us and played like great guy too, tough as nails, big guy, great team player. But Bubba reached around the referee there, just smacked Shartron, knocked him down, cut him wide open, and that was before the brawl. So it was pretty. We had a big tough team too. Bubba, Eddie Hospodar, Kotze, Gresh's big man. Yeah, it's fun. Let me see here. What we got here? Barry Shelley, my favorite brawl. I was doing the brawl. He said Frank Beat always ends up with a tough guy. Sure. Yeah, that's the Flyers brawl. Yeah, I think he ended up with Ben Wilson. I think he ended up with, right? Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. I tell you, in my whole years with the Rangers, we had a good team, right? Like nobody. Listen, there's some tough teams. The Islanders had a tough team. Philly obviously had a tough team, but a lot of we won those playoff series against Philadelphia is because we were just mentally tough. They could do all the stuff they want to do. We kind of took the stance. There's no use trying to fight all these guys. That's what they want. They want to fight all the time. Just don't let it interfere with our game and go play. And we did that. Like that's mentally tough when. Okay, if you're not going to fight, just don't let their stuff, their dirty stuff, interfere with the way you're playing the game. Sometimes you have to take a smack in the face, whatever you do it. And if the referee is good, then they'll call a penalty and we'll be on the power play all the time. And that's exactly how we beat Philly. That's what we talked about in the locker room, what we do, and we did that. So, yeah. Wow, I didn't see this. Susan, like you're a encyclopedia. Roger Federer announced his retirement today at 41. Do you think Charlie's going to play next season? I'll tell you, I'd sure have him on my team. That's going to be the issue, I think. Will somebody take him? I would think they would. I just think he's such a leader. I'll never forget him getting interviewed and talking about the rookies and how they were treated on the team. And he was very positive about it. He said, listen, if you're on the team, you're on the team. This stuff of treating rookies differently is just ridiculous. But at the same time, I think he said at the same time, those rookie players have to be respectful of the older players too. So it's a two-way street. So I'd have him on my team. In fact, if there's room, I'd have him on the Rangers. Like, even if he's a seventh defenseman, have him in the locker room. I think he's just got that work ethic, the mentality about, he's won, he knows how to win. So I'd certainly have him on my team, yeah. Sharks has 5 rings, none fit, mind you. I talked to Rick Chartrand a few years ago. I haven't talked to him in a while. I wonder if he's put on some tonnage. He used to like the old pub that we used to go to after practice. He'd get behind the bar and start bartending too. He was a funny guy. He was really a good team player. Let me see here. Tom, in 3 playoffs, Nick Furio was 10-1 against Flyers, and you guys outscored the Flyers. Yeah. I just, we had, it's just, I think we got to the point, listen, it's not like winning the series is what's important. And they would get really frustrated too, right? Because, I think most teams, they'd suck guys into taking penalties. And we consciously talked about it before. So thank you, Lorraine. Lorraine's got to run. Okay. So I don't think you've gotten a pass. You didn't notify me of that in enough time. It's a $50 fine, I think. No, we'll let you go. Yeah, we had, I remember those series against Philadelphia, and just the guys were fantastic. The Flyers have great respect for Nicky. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes. They would act differently around Nicky, for sure. Yeah. When Nicky was playing. Yeah. And that's the thing that kind of, like for me, you lose respect for guys that are like that. Like, okay, if you want to act a certain way, act like that all the time against everybody. But that was their thing, and that some of the players there, I don't think they really wanted to do that stuff. That's just, especially when Mike Keenan was there, that's what they promoted. Yeah. Let me see here. What was the toughest forward to defend against? Who was the toughest forward to defend against down low? Oh, well, like a guy like Clark Gillies, just so big and strong, and he was a good player too. So he could handle the puck, could score. He's just a big man, like a rock. But it's funny though. One of the guys that was like such a pain to play against down low was Dino Ciccarelli, because Dino would go into this thing where his legs and feet and hands are flying all over the place, his stick and everything like that. And then as soon as you go to touch him, he acts like you dragged him down to the ground, and you risk taking a penalty. But you have to be physical against him. But he was just great at putting on this big act and then flopping around and everything. And he was a good player too. But he was as much as he's a smaller guy, just like it's like annoying. Like you're trying to get him. It's like you more have to contain him instead of going in and pinning somebody like you can against most of the other guys. Let me see here. That's a great question, Joseph. I played in my junior B team at my hometown, the Bramley Blues, and there was a guy named Mike Forbes, who I really looked up to. I think he was 2 years older than me or 3 years older than me. So because I was a local kid, I get to come in and play, probably before I should have been, but I was a local guy. And so I was in there, playing with those guys at 15, 16 years old. And Mike Forbes had gone to Peterborough, I believe it was, played major junior, and then was drafted by Boston and made the Bruins. So that'd be the only guy I knew growing up that played in the NHL. And I remember he came back to our banquet one year after playing with the Bruins. I was on him like glue. I do ask questions. He must have thought what a pain this guy is, because I want to know everything about the NHL and what it was like. And good guy too. I haven't heard from him in a long time. Actually, it's going to be interesting. I think I said at the start of the show, I'm going back up to Northern Michigan sometime in November to put on some presentations. And I've been up there, like 35 years, 30 years or something. So it'll be fun to go back. Tom is saying Nicky was 5-0 against Flyers fights, including Holmgren and Wilson. And his backups were Marouane Fadden. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Marion Marois is a tough little guy too. And Vad, he was nasty. But yeah, there's a lot of times Nicky would go it alone. He kind of enjoyed it. He'd get the Vaseline on the face and the box. There's one great video of him and Ben Wilson. And Nicky's got the boxing stance going, the hands going around, and Wilson's trying to, he wants to come in and grab Nicky, but he's afraid because Nicky, he doesn't want to come in too quick because Nicky's going to poke him. And I think Nicky beat him pretty good that fight too. Deputy Doogie. I haven't talked to Dukes in a while. We have a range. I don't think he's coming in though. We have a Ranger golf tournament this coming Monday. I think it's an alumni tournament, yeah. And for the first time since the pandemic, I think the current players will be playing it as well. So that means there won't be as many alumni guys there. So I'm not sure if he's coming in or not. But I think, from what I understand, he's still popping up. Again, a miscalculation on my part, and I thought it'd be over quickly. But it does look like it's love. I don't know if they're probably consoling her now. She lost that election. So we're talking with Sarah Palin, by the way, in case anybody doesn't know. That's Dukes' new love. Yeah. Oh man. I wonder how Nicky would have done against Gordie Howe. Yeah. Gordie Howe. I didn't get to play against Gordie Howe, but I'm happy I didn't because some of the stories about him. I guess he's one of those guys that he'd play the game. He'd be a gentleman out there, but if somebody messed with him, then he'd pay him back. Yeah. But Nicky was tough. Nicky was a great teammate too. God. He would. Herbie loved him. He really wasn't Herbie's kind of guy necessarily, but Herbie just loved his heart and everything. Like Nicky, Herbie would have this thing like, you got to skate hard to the bench. Like some guys kind of lollygag going back to the bench, and then the guy getting on is now delayed. So Nicky would come to the bench 100 miles an hour, slam on the brakes, and the snow was going everything. It's funny watching the trainers and everybody get out of the way. This is during the game. Nicky's a big man. He slammed on the brakes today. He could go fast. Oh, I tell you, I told the story before too, where especially at Madison Square Garden, if you passed up to Nicky at the center ice red line, he was a winger, so he was on the boards. He would circle back into our zone, and the crowd would go nuts, right? Because Nicky's the local guy, tough guy, Staten Island guy, and everything. And it drove Herbie nuts. Like Herbie be yelling, "No!" And he would sometimes say, "Just don't pass the puck up to Nicky." And I'll never forget one time I went on the ice with Dave Maloney. I'm pretty sure it was Dave Maloney. I said, "So are we really not going to pass it up to Nicky?" He says, "No, hell yeah, we're passing it up to Nicky. I want to see this show." So we would we'd actually pass to Nicky on purpose and to get her wound up. And it was the funniest scene because the crowd's going nuts and loving it. It's just like Herbie screaming at him and everything. Nicky doing not all games where you get a bunch of shifts. So when he got on the ice, he was going to do it. Oh man, funny guy. Ira, I'm not putting that up on the screen. No way. Hockey players like Pierre LaRouche. Yeah, I got to get Pierre on the show. Great golf. Yeah, they normally are, except for me. I'm terrible. I have no desire to play it. I don't enjoy it. I'm not good at it at all. So, but Pierre's. I think when I saw him at Pittsburgh, I think he hadn't golfed in a while. I think he got hurt or something. I can't remember what it was, and had golf, but he was playing in that kind of semi-pro league or whatever it's called. There's another great guy too. What a personality he had, or has. All right, Susan, is there anything on my bucket list? I understand the question. You know what? I don't believe in bucket lists. The concept of a bucket list, I guess, isn't it that if you're told you're going to die or whatever, then now you do all the things that you want to do before you die. Obviously, for me, the way I live my life, I'm not waiting for somebody to tell me to die before I start living. That's how I look at it. So I don't know where I got it from either, because I've always been like that, whether it's, dreaming of being in the NHL or, getting my truck driver's license, learning how to drive a truck. It's just, I always want to learn how to drive a truck. So I did it, going on Survivor was one of those things, so I've been lucky somewhere inside me. I had that ability to just do all the things I want to do. So no, I don't sit and say, and what's going on now too, since I've done all this True Grit Life stuff, like I never really planned on being on Survivor, but things start coming to me more, like, these interviews are coming up. And so there's going to be another adventure coming up soon. I just don't know what it is. And so, okay, I'll put that up there. What the heck? Kelsey's bucket. He's got a big bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Oh no, that's not nice to say about Kelsey. That's funny stuff. So this is humorous. But listen, I'm not against. That's how I want to live my life when it comes to the bucket list. I'm not saying that other people want to live that way. That's fantastic. Again, I would say, why not go out and do all the things you want to do now? We did Barry Shelley. I'm not sure if he's here now, but we did when I first started all the stuff at True Grit Life, we did a 21-day challenge. It's called the Laidlaw Challenge, and the idea was that people would do something. The concept was that you didn't have to get up at 3:30 like I was doing, but if you normally get up at 7, get up at 6 o'clock. Do a video of pouring yourself a cup of coffee or whatever drink you had in the morning and the clock in your house, and then get up and do something that you'd wanted to do for a long time that you put off. And Barry Shelley wanted to build a replica rink up in his attic, obviously not real ice and everything like that. So he did that, and it was just going to last for, like I said, 21 days. The concept is that you can create a habit or change a habit in 21 days. Some people think that's a different number, but that's what I believe. But he continued well on past the 20. That's actually fun. Maybe we should do another one of those. Because it was, the people that were doing it all kind of banded together. I think they were calling me King Grasshopper or something like that. And they were all, so it was a lot of fun. It was, and I know some people, there's a couple of women like, oh, it's awful. I can't, who's still going, but some people were going for like hundreds of days. That kept going on and on. There was people would lose weight, whatever they wanted to do. Let me see here. Anything you haven't met that you'd like to meet? Okay, Deb Miners Hagen, stumbling over my words. Deb Miners Hagen Anderson wants to do the challenge. Okay. Okay, Barry. 5 years started with you and now have over 2,100 members. Oh, that's cool. That's great. I like that, Barry. Thanks. That's cool that you did that for 5 years now. So I guess it's supposed to last for 21 days. And he's done it for 5 years. And he's built, he's got the Hall of Fame up there. He's got a bunch of events and everything like that. So that's great, Barry. Good job. Okay. Is there anything you haven't done yet, Susan saying, or when you haven't met that you would like to meet? It's a great question. Third wife? No, I'm not kidding. Really, you know what? I wasn't like that before. I mean, the goal I had for my life was playing in the National Hockey League. That was the dream. Once I did that, I think I just gotten to the point now, especially with the True Grit Life stuff, that as you know, it's up every day, trying to get better every day, and have no limit on it. And like again, these things start coming to me now, like Survivor, because of all the other stuff I'm doing. And the more I do, it seems like the more things happen. Like this crew from Canada, from Vancouver, coming out and doing this True Redemption interview. So it's you know what? I love my life the way it is, getting up and going out every day. And again, I just know that something's going to come around the corner, that there's some other adventure. I did get asked about going, I think I mentioned this to people about going on. They have what's this? The Bachelor show for seniors. First of all, I had to be 65. I'm not 65 anyways. And I thought to myself, well, I'm not getting married. I think the concept is that you're supposed to get married or something. I was on fire. Aside from Mel, who's the coolest person you've ever met? Oh, wow. Coolest person I've ever met. Great question. Wow. I was a big fan of Larry Robinson's growing up, and I got to play with Larry in Los Angeles. And that was at the end of my career too, and he was such a great guy. He's just like a little kid, loved playing the game still. I've told a story about when we were at center ice, like second or third year in the league, I was assistant captain and some penalty was called. So the captains go over to discuss things with the referee. And Larry was one of the captains from Montreal. So I'm standing there right beside Larry talking to the referee. And by that time I'd played enough, where I wasn't like in awe of him, but still it was Larry Robinson. And all of a sudden this chirping's going on to the side and the referee started laughing. And I'm thinking, well, it's only Larry and I and the referee standing there. The referee's not talking. So is Larry Robinson talking to me? And he's calling me old man and all this kind of stuff. The referees, and I'm going, you're calling me old man? The referee sees what's going on. He's dying laughing. Larry just turns around and walks away. And I'm going, that's unbelievable. Larry Robinson's chirping me at center ice at Montreal Forum. So I didn't know this. Bill Pearl, legendary Dr. Dynamite. Wow. Yeah, I got to tell you, for anybody, if you're looking to get in better shape or lose weight or whatever it is. I just really believe in the getting up early, or you don't have to get up at 3:30 like I do, just earlier, having a routine that you follow, getting more discipline in your life, and doing it in your way. It doesn't have to be what I'm doing or what anybody else is doing. It's your thing. But again, the discipline that you create in your whole life now helps you be disciplined in your diet. And then that leads to me, it leads, once you get more healthy, then it leads to, just continues on and on. Again, so to me, it's not just focusing on the diet and losing weight. It's about having a whole healthy lifestyle, mentally and physically. You'll love yourself more. You won't want to put bad foods in your body. I was at Costco, surprise, the other day, and I said, I'm going to get something to eat here that I normally don't get. So I kind of like my cheat day. So I got a steak and some garlic bread. So that was my worst thing. That's. Let me see here. Yeah, there are some good. I'm telling you, let me see here. 3 weeks on Naked and Afraid. Oh yeah, that's the one thing you realize when you do stuff like, like the air conditioning, or you go on Survivor or whatever. You realize you can do anything. Like, so when people say I couldn't do that, or what, you can. Like, if you really had to do it, you can do it. But again, that's why, to me, that's why the air conditioning thing is important. It could be, again, I've talked about a young man I'm helping. Yeah, I told him to take out something out of his life to get out of his comfort zone, and for 30 days, and he took hot water out. So he took cold showers I was really proud of him, because you just get started in the whole thing, making yourself better. Do you want to? No, but I just think it really, you get out of your comfort zone, it strengthens your mind, because again, you're not perfect, and the world is not fair. So things are going to happen to you that, you've got to recover from. It's going to force things, that outside forces are going to put you outside your comfort zone. And if you're not used to being outside your comfort zone, it's going to become a bigger deal. But if you've already gotten used to being outside your comfort zone, you can handle anything. Then when something happens to you, you may step back a little bit, but you're much more likely to step forward. Say, okay, let's get it on. I'm back up again, and I'm going. I really believe in that. Again, like I've learned from like Jackie Long and other people, we only use like 4 to 10% of our brains. There's so much more there to use. Train yourself. Like, really, the big thing with air conditioning for me wasn't like, suffering through the heat. It was just ignoring the heat, just not acknowledging that it was there. I know that sounds maybe a little bit, you really can do things with your mind. Again, I've learned this. It's not just my opinion; it's science. You do the things, whatever you want to do. If it's meditation, if it's hypnosis, like from Jackie, training yourself, get yourself out of your comfort zone. If you're in the gym, pushing yourself. Your body and mind is made to protect you. So when you get tired, it's telling you to quit. So do things like intentionally do things. If you're going to do 12 reps on a set, put on a weight that by the 8th or 9th rep, you're going to be tired, and your mind and body is going to be telling you to quit. And now you don't worry about the 12, you just worry about getting 8, and then you worry about getting 9, and then you worry about getting 10, and then you get 11, and you get 12. And then all of a sudden you're done when you thought your body was telling you to quit at 8. And then that's the strength of your mind, and you can more find out. Now, next time doing it over and over and over like that, now that you can do that. Yes, your body and mind, again, they're trying to protect you. It's like your subconscious mind is trying to protect you. So I just believe that because I've done it. So yeah. Mark, I'm not putting that one up there. Let me see here. Do you think you would like being out on a crab boat up in Alaska? Be a great experience. Yeah. I don't know if I'd like it or not necessarily, but it'd be one of those things like, it's another adventure that you get done. You said you've done. That was one of the big things with Survivor too, was being at Fiji. One of only like 600 or 650 people have ever been on Survivor. They've been the first Canadian, the first hockey player was on it. It was the adventure part of it. I think that's the way we've got to look at life too. We're going on adventures. Barry Shelley's got his adventures, building his rank up in his attic. Everybody's got adventures they want to do, and do it. Yeah. What's the best thing? Oh, I didn't see that question there. I put that up there. Did you play with the Smurfs? Yes, I was on that team. Ira, could you follow my career a little bit more closely? Oh my God. Let me see here. Back in the 80s, we had a lot of percentage of our weightlifting, pyramid lifting, 70% body weight, etc. Yeah. There's all kinds of different, that's the thing. You can talk to 10 different trainers, and there's 10 different beliefs about training, methods, and everything. And none of them are wrong, I don't think. They're just all different. One thing I hear too about people going into the gym is like it's intimidating sometimes. You don't know what you're doing. You know, I think that's the thing to fight through. Like to go into the gym, take the deep breaths, and fight through that. Because once you get in there, you realize those people aren't any like the people that are in there all the time. Like I don't look down at anybody else in the gym. If anything, most people that are good bodybuilders or good weightlifters or good training, whatever, they'll go help other people too. I mean, if they want help, if they look like some people just want to be left alone, and train they want to train. I don't think you got to always have jerks in any situation, right? That are staring. It's different for women too. In a gym, that's some guys can be creeps. My advice to men: if there's a beautiful woman in the gym, obviously you want to look, but don't stand there and stare at her. That's the creepiest things. Sometimes it's like embarrassing to men do that, but don't be afraid of the gym and go do it. Don't think you have to be like. I don't worry about what weight I put on anymore. I put the weight on that helps me get better. That's what I put on. I don't put the weight on compared to what somebody else is doing, or somebody else is going to think, well, geez, that's kind of lightweight. And again, I'm always trying new stuff. Like I saw a video the other day, a guy was deadlifting from behind his legs, and I did that today, and I posted that. It was pretty cool. It's I'd never seen it before, and obviously can't use as much weight. Well, especially just getting used to it, but it's pretty cool. And I actually think it's safer too, and it works more of your legs. That's what our boy Mark Puttenvink thanks to send it off to him. That's the thing. You're always going to find like I've been in the gym for years, right? So you think all the exercises, you've seen them all. Somebody else is going to come up with something different. And when I saw this guy was I think it was on Instagram or Facebook. I can't remember where it was. Guy must have been less than like 500 pounds behind his legs too. So he's obviously had to work at it for a while. But Ira. Have you tried the Costco apple pie heated up with ice cream on it? I have actually tried the apple pie. I think I got it one time. I got it one time for Christmas. This is like 3 or 4 years ago. So we've got, with my sons, we have the tradition where we make the homemade turkey dinner. And it's always been the same. The hors d'oeuvres to start with, the shrimp cocktail, the chips with the dip. And that's changed a little bit as we've all gotten healthier. But the rest is all the same, the pies and everything. I usually make the pies. So I was at Costco and I get those big, huge pies. So I grabbed one. My boys were upset. They're like, you bought the pie? So yeah. So we don't no more buying pies. All right, everybody. We've gone for an hour here. We can stay longer if you guys got more questions, want to chat, except our Ira. I won't answer his questions. So we're going to, when I want to ask you guys a question. So we're trying to get more stuff on YouTube. And I said before, if anybody is a real YouTube expert, I'm having a hard time with my YouTube channel. If you do know that stuff pretty good, please contact me. Can always use your help. All right, guys. It's a great hour. Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. Everybody except Ira. So everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.